So what if they assumed that he was a sex pest with no evidence
No, not
to support
assume.
it?
Sorry, not.
They
Yeah,
thought.
so not.
If there's no
Yeah,
if there's no evidence to support it, then they have to be assuming.
Look, it's the sex pest, and then I blocked him.
Yeah, I'm in the bathroom, so I don't want to go now.
You're a fucking legend, bro. You're like the fucking Johnny Cochran of Twitch politics, bro.
Does he work in construction?
No, it doesn't. Construction.
Yeah, I gotta say, Prime actually collapsed faster than the Afghanistan government.
So he clearly said, well, we have Samantha Banana, but we have other witnesses. They haven't come forward yet, but if need be, I can get them. Okay. All right. So listen, we're about to watch this Dylan Burns apology. I'm pretty sure I told you guys before what I expect to happen is him not really to admit that he did anything wrong, for like no major concessions to be made on his part, or for him to entirely shift the blame onto like another person. So he's gonna either shift it to like, oh, it was all Katarana's fault, or all Samantha's fault, or all everyone else's fault, or he's gonna make it be something about like, you know, I guess I really believed it, but I was wrong. He's not gonna admit that he lied about anything, and it's just gonna be really just like, okay, yeah, I guess I was wrong. I didn't have any, or it's not even. Might not even say that he's wrong. He might just say that he doesn't have evidence to support it, but still believes it. We'll see. We're gonna watch this apology, which I really think is gonna really basically be a non-apology. We're gonna see.
Oh, everything's great. You know, I'm going to go to the spa with me.
Oh boy.
Okay, that's the only one I do, I promise.
This already starts off on bad grounds. So what he's basically joking about is that spa. Someone said that if he was wrong or something, that he should donate all of the money that he made from the original stuff towards going to a spa. But what he really should be doing is donating it towards the man that he actually like maligned here. But he's probably not going to do that. Okay, thank you very much for that, Epon.
Permission to not be on video. I think Prime wants you to be on video.
Okay, well, sure. Should we all be on video or something?
Prime has given me permission to not be on video. I think Prime wants you to be on video.
Okay, well, there you go. On video.
Yeah, and I think Prime is going to be on video as well.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
Hey. 1 second while I get my video up. Right here.
Sure, take your time. Nobody's in a hurry.
Let's see if he smiles through this apology.
Money. Get that 2 PC set up. Do you want to do whereby instead? Is that easier? Just so we can
send you guys a link
for audio.
Oh, you sent the StreamYard thing? I can try it again.
Just try and have to refresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm sure you can solve this. This isn't too difficult. Have you looked at the permissions at the top? This is fun.
With any cam stuff.
And then coming back in.
Hello.
But it's just not working and it's not porting.
Can you just? Yeah, this is why when I do those things, though, I prepare beforehand for any particular. Okay, I can see Dylan.
I wanted to have the first word and the last word.
Well, that was a fight.
Dylan, are you good on your end?
Yeah, it looks fine.
Okay. I think Prime Kai wanted to have the first word and the last word.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead, Prime, if you have opening statements.
Yeah. So this last week has been pretty terrible on a few levels. But I just want to be clear about like what's about to happen right now. No matter what's said between Dylan and I, this isn't in any way an invalidation of what Katarana was feeling and what she's been expressing, right? So, like, this is just Dylan and I working out one mistruths that were spoken before. But like my response video from last week stands in its entirety. I'll make that very clear.
I want to stop really quickly. I don't like the idea of saying like. I get the idea of like basically saying that you're not invalidating the feelings of another person because people can feel certain type of ways. There's a problem though that I have, right? And it's I had a brother. Well, we're not going to tell that story anymore. We'll just have to come back to it at another time, and then I'll rephrase it as just someone that I know. All right, anyway, people can make any of the statements that they want to make. I won't just go into the details. We'll just do that. I had someone who was in a situation with someone where they made heinous accusations about the person, and they were in front of a counselor, and the person was defending themselves like 100%, and they were just saying this did not happen. Period. It did not happen in any capacity. That's not actual. I mean, that's not facts. Here are the facts as they played out. That's not what that word is. This did not occur in any capacity. And they were like, well, I feel that way. That's how I feel it happened. And it was like, in no way. This happened that would invalidate that. This happened in this order. Is anything I'm saying untrue? It's like, this is the way I feel. And eventually the counselor got really upset and was like, do you not understand? This is how they feel. This is what they're telling you they feel. This is how they feel. And it's like, and so I guess he kind of like relented and was like, okay, that's fine. Well, then I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry that I made you feel. And it's like, no. I'm not owning that. And I was like, at this point, a person can feel anyway. A person can feel invalidated for any kind of reason. Someone can say to me, hey, man, hey, you my dog, bro. You my dog, bro. And then I can say, I feel like you just racially mistreated me. And you can say, what? How? From where? Oh, well, because, when you said you my dog, you're basically comparing me to an animal. So that's how I feel. I feel like you treated me like an animal. It's like, that's not what happened. I didn't do that. I didn't say anything. This is an obvious colloquialism. We know what it means. I didn't make you feel like an animal. I didn't say anything. Well, that's how I feel, though. So just because you feel that way now, I'm on the back foot. I'm apologizing for something I didn't do because you feel a certain way? No. Sometimes we need to make sure that our feelings are appropriate, well-formed, not unfounded. You can feel something in an unfounded way. You can feel something that's inappropriate. You can feel something. It's our job as people to make sure that our feelings align with reality so that we can't just go around tossing feelings anytime to immediately invalidate literally anything that anyone says or any of the actual facts of a case. You can feel anything for any reason, and we can never invalidate that. But we can say these feelings seem unfounded based on the actual facts of what actually occurred, and these feelings are unfounded. And so because of that, I'm not going to be under the subjugation of your malformed feelings and changing my behavior if your feelings are incorrect here. That's the way things are. So simply saying, yeah, well, this is how you feel. I'm not about that life. I'm not about that energy, and I don't respect it. But I get it. That's his place. He feels that way, and he wants to support that. That's all for him. But if I'm acting in all good conscience and not doing anything wrong, and you want to come at me with your feelings about, well, I feel like you were disrespectful. And it's like, yeah, I'm not having that. I'm not. I will not. It's crazy because I really don't have that many enemies. And what's also really interesting about it is if someone claims to have that I've disrespected them, my family will take up for me without me having to say a word, because they know how I carry myself, especially in real life. So when I remember there was a case where I had a sibling and his baby's mother said he called me and he was disrespectful and and my mom specifically said, oh, I don't believe that for a second. You could have said that about any of my other children, but when you said it about him, I don't believe that for a second. That's not how he talks. Immediately, just completely threw it out. Because while I might be pop-off artist, I might say what the freak I want to say on stream, in real life, I am a very tranquil person. I know it sounds crazy, especially when I'm always popping off on live and on stream. I'm chill as freak. So automatically off top, no, that's not true. That's just not accurate. Like legit. So she felt disrespected, or at least she tried to claim that. What's to prevent us from having someone be able to weaponize their feelings to always disarm, always dismiss the actual facts of what happened? How can someone not just do that? I can have a one-on-one conversation with the person and say, "Well, yeah, I just felt like, I felt like they, they were racist towards me. That's how I felt. I felt like they were just really racist." We would need some facts, right? Another person that I know recently was on his job, and a coworker brought a sexual harassment claim against him. She said he sexually harassed her. The statement that he made to her was, "Nice blouse." I said, "Hey, nice blouse." And she said, "What?" He was like, "Oh, I said that was a nice blouse. It's a good shirt." And she goes, "Don't look at me." He said, "What? Don't tell me who to look at. I'll look at whatever I want to. If I'm going to look at you, I'll look at you. I complimented your shirt." She took that to HR and said he sexually harassed her. You know what HR did? What HR did? They threw that right the freak on out. Like, we're not entertaining that. Freak out of here. Because the reason why she actually went to HR was because the two of them got into it in front of everybody, and everyone in the office saw it. And then at the end of it, everyone around the office is now talking about, yeah, don't interact with this person. You saw what she tried to do to so and so. She could have literally argued till she was blue in the face, "I feel that he sexually harassed me." And if I was him in that scenario, I would argue till I was blue in the freaking balls. There's no way that I sexually harassed this person. I'm not validating that. I'm not accepting that. That's not what happened. I know the interaction, and I don't care how you feel. Your feelings in this matter are invalid. Point blank, period. Because your feelings don't align with reality. Freak out of here.
Right. So there were mistakes made all around. I made mistakes, me, right here, Prime. And I addressed those previously. So we are addressing lies and mistruths that were spread on Dylan's platform, and then moving forward. Yeah.
Okay, so
Let's watch him squirm out of this apology.
Me and Prime, we had a 4-hour call where we cleared up a lot of information that neither of us had and tried to clear up any misunderstanding we had. We went for 4 hours to find out what was the main things that should be talked about on a platform like this, and I've agreed to answer every single question that was put forward and to answer for everything that Prime gave to me on a list. And so I'm going to go down the list one by one on the rumors or mistruths or anything that's going around currently. So I'm going to go from the top of the list to the bottom of the list. So the first thing I'm going to address is the 12 women have been harassed and are soon to come forward. This was a mistruth that was spread on my platform.
That was spread on my platform. You said it. This nigga's slithering already.
I shouldn't have had somebody on my platform spreading this without vetting that information or checking that information, and I should not have accepted that information at face value. I jumped the gun on accepting a lot of information on that stream that should have been properly vetted beforehand. I was not properly prepared to have that stream, not saying that it should have even happened.
Wasn't properly prepared. You planned that stream for a while. You guys had previous discussions before it actually occurred. This wasn't just something spur of the moment. He's already lying, man.
First place. So that's the first thing I'll address, is that one. Is that claim that was made by somebody on my platform that I should have properly vetted. That claim, and I did not do the due diligence. The second one is Prime was told by Samantha Banana that he made Kat uncomfortable. That is completely untrue. While Kat did talk to Samantha Banana about talking to Prime, Samantha Banana did not go and talk to Prime. That was completely incorrect, and I should not have believed that on face value, and I should have asked for more information.
Not true. Samantha Banana did talk to Prime, but she made it a general statement such that Prime went and asked afterwards, "Hey, was that about me?" Because Samantha Banana did talk to Prime and specifically said somebody in the community is harassing Katarana, and he didn't think he had done anything, which is really, really telling about how honest this dude was and how inaccurate her thing was. That thing happened, and instead of him automatically feeling like, "Oh, that must be me, I done it," and being able to say, "Dang, I didn't know she felt that way," instead it was like, "Hey, are you talking about me?" Nope. Okay, that's it.
That, again, is a mistake I made. Third one. Prime planned to use Kat's narcissistic personality disorder against her. That was, again, a claim made on my platform that was not properly vetted, and I believed on face value, and I should have more properly vetted, and I should not have believed that without proper vetting. Again, not doing my proper preparation.
What did I say it was going to do the entire time? So that was made on my platform. So the first thing was that was supposedly someone else said it. He's not saying I said it or I lied. It's someone else said it on my platform. I shouldn't have trusted it. So that's putting that on to the other person who was on the platform, who was Samantha Banana. He said this thing again that was on my platform. I should have vetted it. So in other words, it's never that I lied or did anything wrong necessarily outside of not vetting. So it's never owning up to any of the lies or mistruths that he directly spoke. It's literally just, this is all Samantha the Banana. That's literally his whole thing. I told you there'd be zero accountability on his part. What did I say? I'm not psychic, I'm just observant.
While doing this. The fourth claim is Kat and Prime's relationship. Kat and Prime's relationship, I'll assume that means, was purely professional and not close, intimate friends. This is not true. This is the impression that was given on the stream, and that impression was incorrect. They had casual conversations all the way up until they then had a professional business relationship later on when they knew each other. That is an impression that was given that should not have been given, and that should have been cleared up beforehand. The next one was that...
This is so vague. What do you mean it was an impression that was given? You stated that. Dylan defended this with all of his freaking vigor, right? He was like, no, 100%. Like, there was it was all professional calls. Dylan had access to every single text message, 100%. He perused those text messages himself before he went forward with the allegations. He was the one that was going through to discover what DMs were told and what weren't. He was the one that did that. He had access to all of this information. So now he's changing it. Now that his lie isn't sticking, he's not admitting to the fact that he knew it and he was the one that propagated this lie. Again, it's just as vague and distant. He's not ever owning any accountability himself. This is disgusting.
Kat was being paid the entire time during the relationship. That is untrue. The payments of, I believe, 250
over 4 weeks
American, 315 Canadian, was established later in the relationship after booking occurred. I believe it was in June. Am I correct in that assessment? Okay, June.
It's not just June. It was June only for the month of July. He was paying her for the month of July, and he gave it to her at the end of June, which was an early payment for the month of July, and then he paid her again in August.
Yeah, I believe the end of June.
The end of June.
I believe, yes.
Yes, the end of June. And that Prime was holding a paycheck over Kat to threaten her. That was an impression that I think some people might have gotten. That is completely untrue. I have found no instance where Prime has tried to use payment directly to threaten Kat or indirectly to threaten Kat in any instance. I've been shown no evidence.
This is so dishonest. I would not be satisfied with
purely
this.
Professional, in which Kat helped Prime out with panels, rather than they were just calls between friends. While I'm sure there were professional calls, they also had casual calls, and it's been demonstrated to me in private through information that Prime knows that most certainly that they had at least somewhat of a close relationship or a friendly relationship where they communicated back and forth. And the impression that they were never had any type of communicative friendly relationship is completely not true.
But he's acting like this as he needed Prime to reveal that to him. He was very well aware of that. It was very painfully obvious from the very beginning. Like, we knew this. Like, come the freak on, man. I can't believe that we're having to entertain this. He knew it. He knew it. This is just dishonest and feckless.
And then I'm going to, I have something prepared because I wanted to be very specific with my words on this instance, and that Prime has okayed the statement beforehand. So I'm just going to read this when it comes to a July phone call that I've talked a decent amount about.
This is a July phone call, just to make sure that you guys understand before he speaks. This is a July phone call in which he said that he heard harassment. And later on, he said, I've even witnessed him talk about her tits, him talk about her A. Like, he was just going in, like saying, these are the things that I've said. Then later on, he contradicted himself and said, yeah, I heard him say you're gorgeous. It was literally the extent of it. Yeah, let's see what he says now.
Whatever I heard or whatever I think I heard is irrelevant. Because
whatever I heard, so now he's just gonna leave it vague, so it still sounds like what he's saying he heard was true. So now he's saying he did hear it, but it's irrelevant. This isn't a walk back of any at all. This dude's so dishonest.
I have no evidence that sexual harassment ever occurred. Regardless if I thought I heard something inappropriate, the proper thing to do would have been to bring it to his attention directly immediately after the incident and reach an understanding.
So now this isn't him apologizing or admitting that he lied. Instead, what he's now doing is saying, yeah, I heard it, by basically saying whatever I heard or whatever I think I heard. It's basically him being able to maintain like his credulence. Basically, I said what I might have heard this or whatever I heard or didn't hear. This was a proper way of handling it. So it's not a matter of him lying. It's not a matter of him taking accountability for misrepresenting any of these things. It's really him just go ahead and basically saying that I should have vetted it. I should have handled this. I should have followed these protocols. He's not actually admitting to any of the lying or the dishonesty. And it's crazy because this will work on most of the internet.
Not to attempt to shame him and destroy his reputation as part of a public spectacle based on an allegation. I apologize for not holding this matter and dealing with this matter privately. It should have been dealt with privately. I let my emotions get the better of me due to the type of situation that it was.
It's not just his emotions, it was his greed. He was hoping for the takedown of Prime's channel because Prime and him were rivals. He did see Prime as a threat. He did actually complain about the fact that Prime got partner before him. He admitted to as much. If we look now, even they're still streaming at similar times. So even during Prime's channels, he's often streaming during those times, and we saw that they had relatively similar numbers. This is not true. It's not just this is crazy. He's really just dismissing it. He's really not owning at all. If I was Prime in a situation, I would not stand for it, and Christopher Reeve wouldn't sit for it either.
And I should not have let my emotions get the better of me in this situation, and I should have handled it responsibly off live stream in private when we talk about whatever I thought I heard. Those are all the things that Prime gave me on the list, but I just want to go forward and say another thing here, that I handled the situation terribly irresponsibly. I should have talked to Prime when he offered to talk to me, immediately when he started getting any sign of what was about to happen. I should have taken that offer. I let my emotions guide my conduct.
I don't think Prime
shouldn't do that. Definitely when it concerns what could have been the end of somebody else's career. And I shouldn't have let my emotions get the best of me. I should not have trusted information at face value. And I should have done my due diligence, which I did not do.
You shouldn't have lied. You shouldn't have lied. You shouldn't have came up with this scheme from the beginning. You shouldn't have wrote that tweet longer in the first place. You shouldn't have convinced Katarana to do that. You shouldn't have taken out segments of conversations that you thought would look particularly problematic. You literally cropped out all of the surrounding context from the conversation so as to present an image to further your false claim that this guy was a freaking predator. You tried to do that. That was what you did. That's not just due diligence. You did the due diligence in trying to get him canceled. That's where your priorities were. You weren't looking for honesty. You weren't looking for truth. You can see it in his face. That is not the person that's apologetic. This is a person that just feels like I'm just going through the motions to get over this, bro. He's literally not admitting to anything. He's not owning anything. I'm sorry. The only thing that he's really owning is basically saying I didn't follow protocol. He's not admitting to his dishonesty. He's not admitting to all of the lies. That's the problem.
And for that, I sincerely and wholeheartedly apologize.
Yeah.
This doesn't even look
Thank you
believable.
for that.
At least he didn't smile through the whole thing like he did through the accusation.
I guess what I wanted to say at the end of this is that, like, no one
He has not truth.
in all of this.
Dylan won. Dylan won a lot. Dylan's platform grew a lot. There were a lot of people that felt like he was a really valiant man for defending his friend at the time before they knew that it was his girlfriend. Then once they found out it was girlfriend, it's like, of course he should do that. He's defending his girl, so they thought he was valiant for that. Then he also won as far as just raw numbers. People subscribed and supported him as he was like supporting Katarana. So then he won in that sense, like just monetarily. They supported him for outing a predator, so he gained all this favor at that point. And now, once he started apologizing, there are so many people that started coming in there and apologizing. You even see some of these idiots in my chat. I'm like, nothing Dylan said would have actually made you satisfied. I've expressed right now in this call succinctly what the freak he should be apologizing for and what would make me satisfied. So it's not that there's nothing. It's just not the nonsense that's coming out of his mouth. But you don't have a working brain, so you're not actually interpreting what he's saying and recognizing his attempt at dismissing all responsibility. He's abdicating his responsibility to everyone else for having brought him fake information. That's what the freak he's doing. It's disgusting.
I think that the this incident caused a lot of hurt on all sides. It's something that could have been easily avoided on multiple levels. It could have.
Sorry, I got to address this. Ross Lewis, I totally agree with you. What you said was it's a classic fake news situation. The original story gets all the attention, and the real story a week later doesn't replace it. And the reason why the real story a week later doesn't replace it is because people don't put the same vigor into like actually setting the record straight. Dylan, in this case, you see how short this stream is. It's only 38 minutes. When it came for the original accusation, it was 5 hours. 5 or 6 hours of content, number one. Number two, he blasted it on his Twitter, left it pinned to the top of his Twitter page, and Katarana did the same thing. Then he started responding to everyone about it and engaging everyone. He had a full-on debate that was found on YouTube. He did all of those things. When he finally started walking back some of his claims, the conversation between him and Prime, that's not public. He didn't tweet about the fact that he was going to be admitting it. I mean, he didn't tweet his apology, so that's not there. It's not going to be pinned there. He's not doing the same diligence when it came to what he was doing to milk the content when he was originally accusing Prime, and he's definitely now going to just pussyfoot around this issue as he's doing the apology. There's not an equivalent energy given. It's disgusting, and everyone can see that. So that's why I totally agree with you. What was that, Ross Lewis? Pick you.
This is something that could have having a problem because there was an issue. There was an issue, and something that could have been had on a private, but it just wasn't. But like how this has ended up has been just completely disastrous. And what I'm about to say is not a woe is me thing. It's just like describing something that's happened. It's like, so I had a platform for women that I created, Amazon Lily. And that's no more. I leave the talk, have usually small streamers come on and have discussions.
Come in.
And that's a thing that's in the past now, because people don't want to come on, and that's their choice. It's absolutely their choice. My point of bringing this up is that, like, I don't see how anyone comes out better for this, and when this has been all going on, people have been telling me that the silver lining is that, well, the next time this happens, and there'll be a next time somewhere, both on Twitch, Twitch politics maybe, right? The next time this happens is that people won't be so quick to jump to conclusions. I don't believe that's the case. All the incentives to do this again are still in place. To jump on a story, right? Like initially put this forward and get monetization for other people to take that story and with one side or barely understanding of any sides, right? To repeat it and to use it just for views. And just playing up that drama, all those incentives are there to have exactly this happen. So I would really like, it would be great. At the very least, yeah, we did, like, as a community, think about like what to do in the future, like how we interact with each other. Like, what is it that we're trying to do? Are we trying to inform people? Are we trying to entertain people? We're trying to do a little bit of both, but understanding that so often that drive for entertainment causes a lot of misinformation to go out, like in this case, and a lot of emotional trauma. A lot of emotional trauma. I'm not talking about on my end. For other people, a lot of emotional trauma. So let's maybe do better next time. I would really love that. To see us grow as a community from this, at the very least, please. Yeah. I just kind of want to move on from this, and to Dylan, please leave me alone. Please don't really talk about me. Please don't make any comments about my stream, my channel, as you've done in the past. like negative remarks when I've never done that to you. So just leave me alone. Let me live my life. Thank you.
Okay, I respect your wishes.
All right. I guess that's the end of it.
Yep.
Thanks so much. In the past, please leave me alone. Please don't really talk about me. Please don't make any comments about my stream, my channel, as you've done in the past.
Look at that face. Look at that face. Look at that face. This is the look of a person who feels remorse in any capacity. He doesn't. He hasn't owned any of it. And the grossest part is you guys are going to let him get away with it. That thing that Prime's talked about, that this is going to happen again, he's 100% accurate about. He's 100% accurate about. And what's really insane about it is I called that, he's calling it, and we all know it. There's no um there's no recompense for like people coming forward with these fake claims. We look at Amber Heard. That's a situation. Someone in the chat brought that to my attention, and not in the chat. One of my YouTube comments for my debate with Dr. Heimdall. There's yeah, someone was like, yeah, Amber Heard is a perfect example of this. She falsely accused Johnny Depp of like physical assault and violence and domestic abuse. Later on, Johnny Depp happened to have been recording a bunch of the conversation, their interactions, and she had admitted to all of it. Where he said, "You keep getting violent with me. Like I don't want to get violent with you." And she was like, "I know. I'm sorry. I do that. But if it's because you do this." There were pictures that surfaced showing him with black eyes, as there was with what's his name, Elon Musk, who she had dated. All of that. He lost job and financial opportunities. He lost freaking movies, and then Amber Heard goes on to just be on and to continue her career and be supported. And no one is addressing the fact that she came with these false allegations and almost ruined Johnny Depp's life. Now he has enough wealth to insulate himself from some of the larger harm that could happen. Yeah, he lost a literal fingertip. It's insane what she did. No punishment for that. We just move on. No one holds these people accountable. It's on us to hold this guy accountable. It's on us to recognize him for the slithering scumbag that he is. It's on us to create a system that basically says, if you continue to, I'm not watching your stream, I'm not supporting your platform. And if you can be one of those bigger streamers who continues to aid this guy by being on his stream, by being on his platform, then we should hold those people accountable too. This is disgusting.
Like negative remarks when I've never done that to you. So just leave me alone. Let me live my life. Thank you.
Okay, I respect your wishes.
All right. I guess that's the end of it.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
Okay. If there's nothing else, I'm gonna drop out.
Okay. Bye.
Oh, that's that.
Well, that's that. Moved on. This is not a face of a person that's remorseful. He's not living with it at all. He just moved past it and just moved and moved along. I told you it'd be an incredibly short apology, did I not? 6 hour apology. I'm sorry. 6 hour long accusation and a 20-something minute apology. A 6 hour something accusation and a 20-minute apology. I've said it before and I'll say it one more time. Your apology needs to be as loud or louder than your offense. It's crazy. Prime did go out of his way to apologize in the most heartfelt and sincere way he could to apologize. I mean, to Kat, the woman who was falsely accusing him and manipulating people and trying to damage his career and conspiring with his competition. I said that. Conspiring. He could still be charitable, still be delicate. Yet this guy is as impersonal as he could possibly be. He wasn't really addressing this at Prime. Matter of fact, this wasn't an apology. It was just him saying what he was wrong about. Let's go through this again. Did he say I'm sorry at all, or was he just saying, hey, I'm just setting the record straight?
Okay then. We got podcast in a little.
Smiling. Look, he's over it. He's over it. He feels like he won.
Haven't used run for it.
Look at this smile. He feels good about this.
Up, snap camera again. Any other camera output?
He's really apologizing to his audience. He's basically saying to them, hey, I should have done these things. I should have presented these things to you this way. His apology is to his audience. He's posturing to his audience. This isn't a genuine apology. I'm telling you. Watch this video again. You will see. This is not an apology to Prime. This is an apology to his audience and to himself. This is crazy. This is crazy. And y'all still gonna support this man. Absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd.